Welcome to 𝐏𝐑𝐈𝐂𝐄 we talk about investing, finance, and professional development. It's the current time of 9:10 a.m. on Eastern Time on July 17th on Sunday. Hope you guys have a great weekend so far. Ethereum comes at $1,335, now about 1.5% so far. Respect over crypto market on this Sunday morning so far, I'll say across the board is quite a mixed bag, right? There's some micro affectation, but on the macro side of the house, it's if I'm triangulating the futures for the equity side, it seems like it's all pointing upward from here, up about 1.5%. So we have a high propensity to be opening on a green day tomorrow morning. Well, at the same time, the VIX is also dying, down 8%, which is seems like people are adjusting from the previous, obviously, negative CPI report and the negative economical data that came out on Friday specifically. And what's been driving the surge for Ethereum, right, is with respect to the the dates that has been laid out on September 19th. Seems like they're gonna go through with the merge. And after that news came out, I would say across the spectrum, a lot of crypto focused media affectation publication companies have been talking about the merge, and I guess as to get more market awareness on not just domestically but globally, buying pressure got picked up, right? So it allowed us to actually break through the resistance level of 1250 yesterday, and subsequently plunge up to 1350, which is the level that we at right now. And you could see that we are slowly cooling off a little bit right now. And this is just technical speaking the truth. This is like the typical merge rumor that allow for some people to be basically buying before the news actually come out. So it's like some sort of anticipatory pressure, prematurely ahead of the occurrence, right? And then with respect to some other news that I'm also seeing, it seems like there's some, mixed bag of news talking about the airline industry, which seems like we are at the peak of the travel season at the moment, which I, foresee, it's kind of a premature way of saying it. I think there's more travel ahead. Obviously, most people, based on what my understanding and people that I work with, are starting to take time off at the second half of August. But I guess we're closing in, so yeah, we are going to be peaking in this summer travel time season. And something that we've been seeing, among the airfare activity so far, despite the rising gas price and inflationary pressure, people are still, relatively generous with respect to, flying and hospitality spend. But as that happens, we kind of have to come back into real life. After the summer, going back to work, economists foresee that there's going to be another headache ahead for a lot of these airline companies, knowing the fact that they are already struggling. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, but this is like, just like basic economics, right? Like we know that there's during summer, people are more likely to travel, but despite inflationary pressure, gas price, people are still traveling. So, I mean, that's cool to know, right? And then with respect to next week, as we mentioned yesterday, the week ahead is going to be quite interesting, right? We have a lot, like basically, if I count them in my fingers, I think we have about close to 20 stocks that's coming out on earnings, starting on Monday, like Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, like two financial companies. We have seen Citi and Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan, which obviously reported negative earnings because of their bad debts and also their outlook on the economy going forward and the lack thereof on the M&A market front. So we'll see how the other banks are doing as well, right? And then we're also going to see some other consumer-based companies, which will give us some flavor around the inflationary pressure, how they're dealing with supply chain issues, how they're dealing with the trade war and et cetera, and how are they doing with respect to their margin compression and the outlook going forward, right? And then we got to see some earnings starting on Wednesday with respect to some airline companies like United Airlines, and subsequently Thursday, American Airlines, et cetera. So it's quite interesting next week, right? And I believe there's one interesting one that, you know, on Tuesday, if you could see right here, on Tuesday at 2:35 p.m. Eastern time, I believe this is Eastern time, the Fed's Vice Chairman, Leah Bernard, he's going to be speaking in front of the community, and I think with respect to his verbiage, it will give us some foreshadow around Jerome's, you know, guidance going forward with respect to the rate size. Are we going to go with 75 basis point? Are we going to go with 1% going forward, right? And then that's pretty much all the news so far. And some other lingering news is really around like the Joe Biden's verbiage on his trip to the Middle East recently. He went on like a 4-day conference type of thing, and basically he talks about the volatility that's cultivating in the Middle East region, and he's basically in his remarks delivered at the Gulf Cooperation Council, saying that, you know, they are ready to brace for the potential confrontation with Iran. They will not walk away and leave a vacuum to be filled by China, Russia, or Iran. So it seems like, you know, he's trying to be the police of the world onto regulating. But I don't know. It's a difficult conversation to have. So let's just dive right into the technical with respect to recording time of 9:17 a.m. on the Eastern time. Right now we are at 13:50. You could see that we got canceled out right as we got there, and you could see that with respect to the level, the next real level that we actually got some more substantive level would be 14:56. So right now it seems like we've dragged it for a long time, right, on the MACD front, and at the same time the RSI is already depleting, right? So coming down will make a lot of sense. And again, this green candle is really mainly due to the fact that firstly we've been consolidating, and secondly because of the merge news that came out, right? So like ultimately this green candle is up to your belief. Like, do you believe that we're gonna actually go through with this, or was that just like a fake news, or are we gonna see more delay going forward? Because more disappointment is not gonna do us any favor, right? So, but I guess this is a good short-term pump. I mean, ultimately you never buy based on a rumor or like a news. You always buy based on the setup. And right now the setup, like, you decide for yourself, right? We've crossed up for quite some time, and at the same time we are at the 58 out of 70, quite overbought, right, in relatively speaking. And we're also getting blocked right now if you look at it historically as well, right? But weekly and monthly do look bullish, as we know, right? We have crossed down for a long time, looking for a plateau on both a monthly and a weekly. We want to form a cross upward on a weekly, so some buying pressure ahead of time, you know, as we approach post obviously the FOMC meeting, can be very logical based on what we see so far. And also this is applicable to Bitcoin as well. You can see that we are looking for some sort of a rebound as we've been depleting at the 31 out of 70 on the weekly, and also on the monthly as well, right? Very depleted, large separation, so we do need to kind of come back up eventually. But on daily you could see that clearly we are stretched up for a long time, getting blocked clearly, matching with all the historical resistance level that we've hit on the 49 out of 70. So yeah, it's you know, basically coming down to like ideally 18,500, 17,500 is more likely. And then all the other coins, right, you could see that clearly, you know, quite volatile, right? All swinging upward right now, but because of the fact that we've all been stretched up for quite some time on a daily, it needs to kind of cool back down a little bit, at least in the near term as we get closer to FOMC meeting. And I'm saying this applicable to most of the other ones. Dogecoin is like on the opposite side though. It's quite interesting. It's about to cross up, and also this is matching with the weekly and a daily. So quite interesting. It seems like Dogecoin might be experiencing some upward swing coming up. And then so also like with respect to other coins, I would say they all kind of trading similar to how Ethereum is trading. So let's just like quickly look at Solana as well. It's up about 4.5%. Yeah, it's around the same, I would say. XRP, yeah, same thing, right? Getting blocked right now, so we see some like short-term swing down, you know. And then with respect to Polkadot, same thing, getting blocked right now. Algorand, same thing. Shiba Inu daily, yep, looking to getting blocked as well. MACTAC up 6% so far, stretch up for quite some time now. So we need to kind of cool down at the 71 out of 70. So probably makes sense to take some profit on this one. AVAX flat right now, also looking for some sort of a level to come down from. Okay. All right. So gonna be interesting week ahead. So let me know if you have any questions on all of these macro and micro factors that we need to kind of encapsulate as we are approaching this week ahead. But yeah, have a good week. And next week I am gonna be flying out to San Francisco for the second half, starting on Thursday. So yeah, I most likely will not post on Thursday and Friday. And I'll probably come back on Saturday depending on how hectic my schedule have been or my energy level. But appreciate you, and I'll catch up on with you on the next one. Take care.